Hi there, I'm Tazeen Ahmed. This is 60 Seconds on air and online. Here are our top stories. Yasser Arafat's compound has come under heavy fire again. Israel says he's not a target, but they believe he's sheltering militants. Arafat says he won't surrender. Police have asked the public to stay away from the wood where Millie Dowler's body was found. The search for evidence has ended for the night. Iraq says it won't cooperate with any new demands by the UN Security Council. George Bush wants them to issue an ultimatum to disarm or face the consequences. Newcastle inflicted more misery on Sunderland boss Peter Reid by beating them 2-0. Arsenal beat Bolton Wanderers 2-1 with a last-gasp effort from Kanu. Matthew Pinsent and James Cracknell are probably still celebrating their new world record. They won gold in the coxless pairs at the World Rowing Championships. That's it. Log on for our Premiership website. There are more updates from me from 7 tomorrow evening.
Taking mechanical mayhem to a new dimension. Meet Mr. Psycho, the new series of Robot Wars, Monday to Friday at 7:30 on BBC Choice.
Money can't buy you love, but it can buy you a zoo, 2,700 acres, a fairground, the Beatles, a new nose, a miniature railway and posh friends. As long as the money doesn't run out.
I've never seen a star who used their money in this way.
One of the kings of the big spenders.
His debts are threatening to suffocate him.
Liquid News has world-exclusive access to Michael's personal effects, from his bank statements to his skincare products. Jacko's Millions, tomorrow at 9 on BBC Choice.
Now on Choice, Nick Hancock is joined by regulars Gary Lineker and David Gower, plus Test cricketer Mark Waugh and swimmer Sharon Davis. They think it's all over.
The ball went over his head!
Oh dear.
Problems there.
Hey, look at that! Have you ever seen anything like that? Some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now.
Hello and welcome to They Think It's All Over. With David and Jonathan this week is the glamorous queen of British swimming in the 80s, who sadly all too often lost out to hairy, burly opponents pumped full of drugs. And as she's on the opposite side to Rory, expect no change there. Sharon Davis. With Gary and Rory is one of the finest Australian batsmen ever, who with his twin Steve makes up the second most successful pair of sporting brothers in the world, after Venus and Serena Williams. It's Mark Waugh. It's our handbags round now, all about the feuds that break out between sports people, Gary, Rory and Mark. Your question concerns Mark's captain and wound partner, Steve Waugh. Here he is, scoring yet another 100.
He's taken he dived to make his 100.
And his row with ex-England coach David Lloyd, seen working on the England players' technique before a recent tour to Australia. So, what was the cause of the row between the Australian captain and David Gower's Sky colleague, Gary's team?
Can I just first a big round of applause for Mark Waugh, one of the greatest cricketers of all time. Yeah. Famous twin. There's three of you, aren't there? There's Steve Waugh.
Three twins?
Three twins? Steve Waugh. Steve Waugh.
That's 4. It's amazing calling all of the first 3 Steve Waugh.
Mark, and your sister Shane Waugh.
That's right.
Now, is it true what they say? Because I know that in the womb they say that twins develop this sort of telepathy with each other. Is that true?
Well, Stephen's run me out about 8 times when we've been batting together, so I'm not sure what the telepathy is. Actually, Gary, it hasn't worked, so.
Gary and I have worked out this sort of telepathy. We've been on this show so often together that we actually
finish each other's sentences.
That was pathetic. That was really awful. The only way you could have made that worse, Gary, was to said, "Is it now? Do I say it now?"
Jonathan's mother thought she was having twins, but it turned out it just be the afterbirth. If only they hadn't phoned the child away. Hey, by the way, hats off to David for coming out here. Well, not coming out. For appearing on the show in the full leather that he normally only reserves for those quiet weekends. And, you know, it took a lot of courage for him to come out because, as you probably know, he's terrified of leather, especially when it's wrapped around a cricket ball.
I keep looking at these two and wanting to do YMCA.
I look at the two of them and think, I want to put on the other porn channel.
Sharon, can I ask a question? Is it true that you have a pink elephant tattooed on your bottom?
Yes.
Well, just in case anyone doesn't believe her.
Steve Waugh, David Lloyd, falling out.
So, Mark, have you got any secret plans to beat England in the Ashes Test?
Plan on turning up, yeah.
Gary and I have done this show so often together, we can actually... What's that? It's something to do with the fact that Mark and Steve are over here for ludicrously short contracts in English county teams. And David Lloyd thought they were spying.
Yes, that's correct for 3 points. I'll give you 3 points for that. To be fair, Lloyd has good reasons for thinking Steve Waugh was a spy after he walked into the Sky interview room to find the Australian stroking a white cat. Although it turned out he just had David Gower's head in his lap. David, Jonathan and Sharon, your squabble concerns two of the world's most successful managers. Here's Alex Ferguson watching Arsenal's Sylvain Wiltord destroy United's title hopes last May. And here's Sven-Göran Eriksson watching Arsenal's David Seaman destroy England's World Cup hopes last June. But it's not Fergie's perennial battles with Sven himself we're worried about, but a dispute with Sven's mum, Ulla. What was it all about, David's team?
Before we start on the question here, can I just say how really lovely it is to have Sharon on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest swimmers this country's ever produced. One of the greatest swimmers in the world, in fact.
It's nice to be here, having been poorly last week.
Well, yeah.
I had a bit of a chest infection last week. As you can hear, the voice isn't quite back yet.
We're not hearing you. Getting a chest infection. So what was it? Were you encouraged? Did you go to a school that was especially good for swimmers?
I was at an all-boys boarding school from 15 through to 18.
Their admissions tutor wants shit.
But it was a normal school when you went there, and when you left it was a school for the blind. And it produced one of the greatest swimmers of country services, and no doubt many of the greatest pole vaulters, I should imagine, as well.
Stop it!
I'd like to point out I do not objectify women in any way, nor am I sexist, because it's been proven that women are more intelligent than men, and we get paid more, so it sort of evens out. We're all happy, aren't we?
Question.
Huh?
Something to do with Sven's mum.
Oh, Ulla.
Ulla Eriksson and Sir Alex Ferguson.
Ulla.
Was Fergie insisting she have a hip operation when, in fact, she's perfectly fit?
It's amazing how hip operation's the first thing he thinks.
Well, yeah, you should try.
He's at that age. All his friends are having them. He wants one.
She doesn't like Mr. Ferguson very much, does she? She thinks that he keeps his players away from her son's team.
I shall give you 3 points for that.
Very good.
It's all about the current club v country debate. Ulla Eriksson was quoted in The Sun saying, "Alex Ferguson is a threat to my son. Sven once told me that it's pointless having national team games in April or May because Ferguson always makes sure that his players aren't fit." No less a person than Gary Lineker himself condemned Manchester United for withholding their England players. It's up to every player to insist on playing, he said. That's Gary Lineker, who mysteriously never learnt the Japanese for "I insist on playing." Sven is now facing a fitness crisis ahead of England's vital European qualifier in Slovakia. Emil Heskey has been ruled fit. And at the end of that round, David's team have 3 points and Gary's team have 3 points. It's our pathetic excuses round now. Gary's team, it's Scotland's hilarious 2-2 draw against the Faroe Islands for you.